Hello, everyone. Welcome to a beautiful Saturday morning with me, Sherry Williams, with WomanUp Initiatives Business and Community Networking Group. We have a membership, and today we are spotlighting some wonderful people. And first up is Jolisa Webb, and we're going to talk to her about how fabulous she is. But for Women's History Month, I wanted to start off with someone that I admire. I think she's just an amazing person. Her spirit is always lovely, and I wanted her to share all of her expertise with all of you. So, Jolisa Webb, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you so much, Sherry. I am so excited. And first of all, I just want to say thank you. I am honored to have been selected as one of the newest members of the Woman Up Initiative group. And I am so looking forward to learning more about all the phenomenal things that you guys do, all the phenomenal work that you ladies do. And also trying to figure out, just where I fit in, how I can be value added to, whether it's with coaching or community service, or, I just love anytime we can come together and uplift one another. So thank you so much for selecting me as one of the newest members. I am absolutely honored. And also thank you for giving me the opportunity for creating a space for me to talk a little bit later in today's interview about divorce coaching. So a little bit about me.
Yeah, well, let me just moment, because this is how fabulous she is. First of all, it is Women's History Month, and to honor our ladies, let's give a toast. We are toasting our sparkling water to Women's History Month.
Yes, cheers, darling.
See, you can still drink out of a fabulous glass.
Right. We can dress anything up.
So, Jolisa, I want you to tell our viewers and listeners who you are and all about you, because I'm in awe of you. I love everything about you. So I want other people to know who you are, and then we'll talk a little bit about your business. But first, I want you to talk about your career and, just share what you want to share about your career.
I will do that. And ladies, we have a mutual love fest going on. Sherry and I fell in love with each other just on spot. We were introduced through another mutual friend that we love very dearly,
Yes.
Yolanda Taylor, who is a very good friend of ours. And she's doing her thing too. And we work with her and partner with her on other initiatives related to her image consulting business. But we've had we have a mutual respect. I'm in awe of you as well, and I just love you to pieces. So, but a little bit about me. So I'm a military brat, born in Germany, grew up mostly in Alabama, and I'm a graduate, second generation of Alabama State University. And while I was at Alabama State University, I got commissioned into the Air Force as a second lieutenant. So I spent the period from 1987, and I'm telling my age, and I don't care, from 1987 to 2007 as an Air Force officer, traveling the world, doing all kinds of different things. And it was very eye-opening. It was very liberating. It was very empowering. And some of the things that I'm proudest of my opportunity that I had to command when I was at Keesler Air Force Base. It's nothing like having 500 airmen and being responsible for their care and housing, and feeding and making sure that you kind of help set the foundation for them as they're about to enter the Air Force and do their military service. And a couple of years ago, right as I was during my retirement, I actually had the opportunity to participate on the Joint Task Force for Sexual Assault Prevention and Response. And a lot of you guys know, yeah, it's very serious, and there's nothing like having service members have to deal with the possibility or the aftermath of a sexual assault. And the military being what it is, there's a tendency for the military becomes your life, and so everybody can know everything, and you have to report certain things to your commanders, and that was causing a lot of our women to not feel as safe, and so because they didn't want to do that, they didn't go to the commanders a lot of times. And so one of the policies that I'm extremely excited to have authored was the confidential reporting policy, which allowed women to confidentially report sexual assault within the Department of Defense. And so, that was just something that was a game changer. It was historic. And, I was really glad to have had the opportunity to do that. And then, of course, being in the military, you get to travel places, Paris, the French Riviera, the Netherlands, Berlin, Turkey, Saudi, Korea, Japan. I mean, it was just, a whirlwind experience. So I miss it, but I am part of the Office of Resolution Management with the Department of Veterans Affairs. And our big mandate right now is focused on equity. And I'm sure that all of our listeners and our members can understand, just how important equity is. We talk equality a lot. We talk diversity a lot. We're beginning to talk a little bit about inclusion, but equity is actually especially important because if people are not starting at the same place, if somebody has a 100-year head start on somebody, and then you say, okay, well, now we're going to bring everybody together and we're going to make it even and we're going to make it equal. Yeah, but you had a 200-year head start on us. So it's kind of, so you got to think about how do we bridge the gap to make up for that 200 years head start that you had. And then we can talk about making it equal. So that's kind of where we are right now, and doing some work with as it relates to the executive orders that just came out of the White House, and we're off and running. So,
well, that is something that, oh my God, one, I don't know too many ladies that have been in the Air Force. So that's just one amazing thing right there. And so if folks are really interested in that, you have a wealth of knowledge to share if you are starting your career and you want to be in the Air Force. So, stay tuned for more information about that, because again, I'm sure there's a lot of young ladies out there or young men that are interested in the Air Force. But our mutual friend is here, and I am going to add her so she can say hello to all of us. Yolanda Taylor, hi.
Hey, ladies. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
When
Hi,
we get together,
we were just talking about you. Were your ears burning?
Oh, listen, I'm multitasking. Women over 50, you're either raising kids and taking care of your parents, or you're doing both. And at the same time, I'm helping my dad now. So I'm multitasking, but I'm here with you because I know you have a lot of good advice and support to women, particularly just any woman can benefit from Jolisa's knowledge and support. And she's always helped me out a lot. In fact, she's helped me out a lot just recently, listening. She's a very good listener. So I'm excited to be a part of this and listen.
Well, thank you so much for popping in and gracing us with your beautiful photo.
Yeah, because the other
we
part
love
so
you,
beautiful.
And it's a mutual love fest. You really did something that you were part of that village that really helped me when I was going through my own divorce, and really were there not just for me but also for my daughter Rachel, helping to get her back and forth from the bus stop and making sure she had dinner while I was still trying to get home from work. And so things like that are, or just listening to me cry or giving me a break when I needed some downtime, and saying, hey, come, let Rachel come over here and hang out, and stuff like that is so important when you're going through a breakup. So I really love you and appreciate you too. And you uplift me, and motivate me and encourage me a lot as well. So, and since we're introducing people, come on, stick your little head in here.
Oh, come on in, Rachel. Is that Rachel? Oh my God.
Hi,
Hi, Rachel.
the
She had
rising
helped me.
It's a
senior.
family affair. We just listen. We come together, and when we come together, it's always kicks and giggles, and the young folks keep us on our toes. So,
Help us
Rachel,
set up our technology.
we love you, Rachel. We're so proud of you, and we're going to feature you one day as well because we want to hear all that lovely music that you're playing. So, we got to do that. So, Yolanda, thank you for joining us. Stay tuned, and please continue to listen in, and we will, Rachel is just right there, so we love that. So, Jolisa, I want you to tell our viewers and listeners how you got into fashion, became a model, and then a divorce coach. Because again, I think these things are so important, and I want you also to explain to men and women some of the services that you provide because I don't think I've ever known a divorce coach. So I've been married 26 years. I, you know, I'm fine, but some folks are not. But if I was in that situation, I would want a divorce coach and someone to help me through the situation. So let's talk about you being a fashion icon first, then a model, and then we'll talk about the divorce coach. So tell us all about that journey.
Well, it's quite funny. I started started dipping my toe in modeling back in the 90s when I was stationed at Charleston Air Force Base, and everybody kept talking about, oh, you look like a model. Do you model? And I'm like, no, I'm in the Air Force, but you look like you should be a model. So you remember about that time they used to have that Barbizon commercial that said, be a model or just look like one. So I went and took the classes through Barbizon. But what I learned, it was like, even if I didn't want to be a model, it really helped a lot with enhancing my poise. I'm a Southern belle, so to a certain extent, I grew up and my mom and, I came from a house where you always had to look a certain way before you went outside because you're representing the whole family. You know what I mean? So, just go outside looking any kind of way. My grandmother was well into her late 60s, probably early 70s, and she still went to bed at night with nutmeg powder and ruby red lipstick on her face. So, that's just kind of the way I was raised. My mom, was a fashionista. And so when she was in Paris and all those places, she had all of her, and even to this day, she loves fashion. And so, I took the class, and the next thing I know, I was overseas in Germany. And so I did a little bit of modeling while I was in Germany. The big thing was I was still trying to balance being in the military with doing modeling. And, because you're a model, how deliberate and intentional you have to be about pursuing that. That can take a lot of energy, getting yourself out there and beating doors and getting told no and all kind of stuff. And so my job in Germany was one where I had to work 12-hour shifts a lot. And sometimes it was 6 to 6 in the morning, from 6 in the morning to 6 at night, or 6 at night to 6 in the morning. And so it made it kind of difficult for me to be as engaged. But I did have an opportunity to do a couple of big shows while I was there. And that was a fun experience. And so my next assignment was Biloxi, Mississippi. And that's when I had an opportunity to put on my first fashion show as part of Black History Month for the base. And I came up with this brilliant idea, at least I thought it was brilliant, because a lot of times, so think about Charleston Air Force Base and, the population of Charleston, a lot of times military people tend to get on the base and they really don't know a whole bunch of people and they kind of stay closed off to themselves. Well, since I was single at the time, I had this habit where I would get out and just meet people. I just go out into the community and meet all kind of people. And so one of the things I wanted to do as part of that fashion show was focus on Black businesses. So for the fashion show, I made a conscious choice to feature only designs, from Black designers. We had one lady had an accessory shop, or Black businesses. So she had an accessory shop. We had her come. We had another lady that had a secondhand shop, Black owned business. So we had her participate. We wore her fashions. And that is when I met the fabulous celebrity designer, Liz Russell.
Well,
Yeah.
let me jump in here because listen, I only know Liz because of you, and Liz is so fabulous. And when she invited me to participate in one of her major fashion shows because of you and our friendship, I felt so honored. So we had the most amazing experience down in San Diego at the major fashion show that Liz put on. I mean, me and Jolisa had a ball. And so tell us all about Liz because we love Liz. Quickly, because I'm going to feature Liz, but quickly tell us about
Oh
Liz
my
and
God.
why she's so fabulous.
Liz is fabulous, and Liz has followed me from that time I met her in Biloxi. I've done shows with her in Charleston. I've done shows with her in Biloxi, Mississippi. I've done several shows up here where she does trunk shows and comes up here. Liz's clothes are one of a kind. They are timeless. As a matter of fact, this is one of her hats right here that I sometimes, I wear it and I use it. I also use it as an accessory in my home because it's so beautiful. I can't bear to, it's one of those things that should be seen, whether it's on me or just out in public. But she is just an extraordinary lady, and she has a collection called the Love Collection, which is scarves and bags and necklaces, and it is just, I mean, I'm so happy that you're going to feature her on your show because she is just, her pieces are just exquisite and they're one of a kind. And the other thing that I like about them too is they're versatile, so you can mix them and match them with to dress them up or down, or just give you that little extra something. Sometimes when you're going out, you might want to put on one of her tops, and it'll make you feel a little dressy for a date night, or when you go. And when we talk about getting your sexy back, Liz's clothes are all about helping you get your sexy back. And but the other thing is, her pieces have the capability. I can put them on somebody that's thin, like you put them on, they look one way. Somebody who's got a little extra curves like me, put on that same piece, it looks another way, but it's still flattering. So I love that about her clothes because they have a universal, timeless appeal that make anyone who puts them on look fabulous. And I just love it.
I love Liz. We're going to feature Liz in a future show. But everything Jaleesa is saying about this woman is correct. And I walked away from that fashion show. She gave me an item. I'm like, Liz, you don't have to do anything. She gave me an item, and I'm gonna show off that item next time we come on. But Liz is really amazing. So Jaleesa, before we bring our next guest on to say hello, tell me about what your clients would need to do or know, how you help your clients as a divorce coach, because that is a real important issue. I think you have all the expertise in the world to share, and sometimes we don't think we even need those things. But I want everyone to know, men and women, to know how you can utilize your services as a divorce coach. And then I see another friend that just another one of our mutual friends that just popped up on the screen, and I'm going to let her in the show and let's see her. But tell us about that.
Well, just about anything that we do in life involves a process, and some processes we do kind of automatically. Some processes that are more glamorous, everybody knows about them. Everybody knows about the process of getting married. We make a big fanfare about that, and everybody knows, and because that's uplifting, and people consider that that's a major life event. And same thing with a baby. Everybody, we all know about the process of having a baby and what it takes. And, that's a process. And, that's one of the major life milestones in life. But when it comes to divorce, divorce is a process too. And it's not one that a lot of people like to talk about. And it's kind of surprising given the statistics continue to be 50% of marriages still end in divorce, especially for the Generation X, the baby boomers, the Generation X, and other people. And and as a matter of fact, they have a term for those of us who find ourselves facing divorce either in our late 40s and 50s, or those of us who've been married 20 years or more, and that's called the gray divorce. And the gray divorce is really on the rise, and it's particularly a lot of women who are initiating those types of divorces. So what a divorce coach does, or what we do, it depends on where you are in the process. We work with people who may be considering divorce, and they're trying to figure out whether they want to stay or go, or walk away from the marriage. And because we're ultimately, the decision is yours. We're not there to force it, help. We're there to help you make the decision and help you think about your thinking. But we're not there to make the decision for you, or make you feel any type of way about the decision that you're going to make. Divorce coaching, at least my coaching, is really focused on helping. And I specialize in women, but I can obviously coach men as well. But I'm really focused on helping the women that I coach embrace their own truth and who they are and the beauty that's inside of them, and come up with decisions that are best for them. Because at the end of the day, we all know deep down inside, in that still dark voice, we know what's best for us. Sometimes we just need a little bit of help, or a little bit of, we need somebody to come in and kind of help us get back to that.
So with that being said, I think sometimes people don't know that that's what they really need, because you're talking to your friends and maybe your family members, and everyone has an opinion, but are you talking to a professional? And that's why I wanted to bring you on today and have you share the information and your expertise with everyone, because some people don't realize that maybe you shouldn't be talking to your friends. Maybe you shouldn't be talking to your family. Maybe you should be reaching inside of yourself so that we can extract all of that out first, because you got to heal yourself from within. I know you say that all the time. And then you can go into some of those other things that you want to do, because we tend to lash out at others because we're going through a situation and the other person may not be going through the situation. So with that being said, let's just pop Tracy into the stream real quick, because she's another mutual friend of ours. It's all kicks and giggles when I get with these ladies. Tracy, hi, welcome to the show.
Hey, hi, beautiful. How are you? We see. Put your mic on, babe. There you go.
Tracy, can we hear you?
Okay, gotcha.
Oh, there you go.
My mic was off. Sorry. Good to see you, ladies.
Hi.
Hi.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too. Yeah, I just wanted to come on and show my support for Jolisa. Jolisa and I have been friends for quite some time. And I am also a divorcee. So we had quite a few conversations regarding the whole process of, going through a divorce, because it does take time. It's a process, like you said earlier.
Yes, and we talked about it. Yeah, Tracy, love you, sweetheart. You're looking beautiful this morning too. So thank you so much for supporting, coming on and listening. And yes, we did have quite a few conversations about the process and healing. And the thing about it is, it's a unique experience for each person that goes through it. And so, as a coach, that's one of the things. I heard another coach say something not too long ago, and it really resonated with me. One of the things that we have to do a lot with coaching is listen. We have to listen way more than we talk. And
Absolutely.
yes, and the reason is she said something, and I thought it was so profound. She said, you know, I like to try to listen to people and hear them so I can hear them at the heart level, because when you listen to people at the heart level, you're able to hear things. You can hear, you're able to hear what they're saying. And sometimes what they're saying may not be the same thing that they're asking for.
Mm,
Right. Right.
yeah. Yeah.
So we really have to listen. I had an experience last week where a lady called me, and just based on she you know, she called and she was you know, she called because she said she was ready, but through the course of listening to her, I could kind of tell she wasn't quite there yet. And there's a way you coach somebody that's not quite there yet, as opposed to somebody that's pretty set and they're ready to take actions to move forward. Because if you rush in and you start coaching somebody that's not quite there yet, the same way you coach somebody that's pretty clear about, you know, and they know they want a divorce, they just don't know how to go about it. You run the risk of really causing them to be defensive, or causing them to have some responses that are just, that actually work to set them back. And our goal is to really
Right.
keep you moving forward. So it's very important to be able to listen to the client and hear what they're saying, and know where they are in as it relates to their willingness to be ready to change, you know, so that you don't rush them and you don't start applying techniques or guiding them too fast, based on your own thoughts about where they should be going next.
Wow, wow, that's powerful. Well, thank you, Tracy, for popping in and showing your support. We love you. We appreciate you. And just continue to listen and, you know, put something in the chat if you like. But we really appreciate you. Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Good to
Absolutely.
see you.
Good to see you.
Oh my gosh. So, Jolisa, um, another thing that I want to talk about with you is how should women present themselves, because sometimes, like we talked a little earlier, what makes a woman or a man desperate, because is that a part of the situation where they're still going through something? And explain to me what makes them desperate and how do you avoid that?
Well, you know, we're very careful with how we're very careful with labels and you know, statements that uh, we use for our clients, you know. And so I think sometimes, you know, those feelings may be. Um, Here's one thing I do a lot with my clients, I guess. I focus a lot on helping them to understand self love, self compassion, and self care. Because a lot of times, what I find, and to your point about making people desperate to find love, is sometimes people are looking for things in other people that they can only give to themselves. And because we do not, yeah, we as a society have not done the best job in making, we don't understand self care. A lot of times, people who want to engage in self care behavior have been made to feel that they're being selfish, or
Mm.
they feel like they're being selfish or indulgent or taken away somehow. And, you know, and so as a result, you have people, and especially women, who give everything away. They're just constantly giving everything to everybody else. And, you know, a lot of times when you are such a giver and you enable a lot of people to take, and it never occurs to people who are takers to give stuff back. And so, yes, and so you become, basically you deplenish your cup and there's nothing left to fill it in, and you're desperately trying to figure out. So when you're it's like it's the same thing. Think about this. We've all had the experience of going to the store on an empty stomach, right? What
Right.
happens when you go to the store on an empty stomach?
You want to eat everything that you see on the shelves.
Does it matter what it is? Does it matter? Are you thinking,
No, no,
about
it
whether or
doesn't
not
matter.
it's good? Right?
Right.
Exactly. So if you don't take time to give yourself your own love, to love yourself, to keep your own cup full, then what do you think happens when you start looking for love?
Wow. I mean, that is so powerful. So I'm going to give myself some of this sparkling water. Everyone
Okay.
drink. You have
Cheers to
sparkling
that.
water, drink.
But
Because
it's exactly the same concept. And so I tell people, people say, oh, I can't afford to. You can't afford not to. You really can't, because what the other thing that happens, and this is something, it doesn't matter whether you're going through a divorce or whether you're in the best marriage of your life. Self-care is important, because what can happen, and sometimes what can cause problems in the marriage, is you're so busy looking on that other person to give you things that you need to be giving yourself, and it builds resentment. It creates resentment against that other person.
whoa, you just hit it, because you guys know I'm married 26 years. It's going on 27. And I do look at my husband to give me certain things. And then I have to bow that back and say, you know what, girl? You better get up and get that yourself, because you need to give it to yourself. So if I need to get down to the home gym, I need to do that. I don't need to be harassing him to say, hey, you need to come join me. I need to just go downstairs and do what I need to do. So sometimes you can fall into that kind of, situation, but you have to have a divorce coach or a good girlfriend or all those good people in your life to say, listen, I'll come on Zoom with you and work out with you, and let's do this thing. So you don't always need the partner to give you that confidence. You do really have to have it within yourself. So I really appreciate that, because we all have to be reminded that it starts with us first, right?
Yes. And the more stuff that you have on the inside, whether it's self-compassion, self-love, self-care, it gives you the better and enhanced capability to be able to give that to other people. So when you have self-care or self-compassion self-compassion, then it enables you to better be able to have compassion for somebody else. When you understand how to give yourself some grace for your imperfections, for things that you don't know, it puts you in a better position to be able to give grace to other people, or to hold space for other people when they're not showing up as their best selves, or when and put you in a position where you can inspire them to be their best selves. I see a question. I see
Okay.
two questions too. I see one about
All right, let's go to some of the comments and questions.
girl, okay, people, you guys have seen my eyes, and I ain't fixing to see
I'll
one.
read the question.
Okay.
Can you talk a little about divorce with children and how to sustain peace while co-parenting?
Yes. So my daughter was almost 13 when our divorce when we started the divorce process, and it can be challenging, and I have had some clients who really struggle with their co-parenting situation. I did not have that experience, but I do have other clients that have that. And one of the ways a divorce coach helps you with that, or can help you, is sometimes things are just about organization. Sometimes things are about having certain scripts that you talk to your ex-spouse with. We can help you write scripts so that when this person calls, you have a certain response to that you're going to say to certain things. And not only can we help you with scripts with your ex-spouse, we can also help you when you're going through the process develop certain scripts for talking to your attorney. If you're going to talk to your attorney, a lot of times people going through a divorce process give a lot of power to their attorney. But at the end of the day, whose divorce is it? Is it the attorney's divorce? Or is
No,
it your divorce? Yeah,
it's
is it your
divorce. So
yeah, it's your divorce. So you don't want to give people, too many you don't want to give a lot of your power away. And it's the same thing with when you're co-parenting with an ex-spouse who may be a little bit difficult, learn how to set some boundaries. Learn how to we help you learn how to set boundaries. We help you think about communication strategies and techniques that you can use with your ex spouse. And we really try to help you think about how you're thinking too. And sometimes, it's not always the other person. And so, as part of our strategy or as part of our sessions, we really get to what is the concern? What's really behind, these feelings that you're having? Why are you still holding on? Why is this so important to you? Is this really important to you? We ask a lot of questions because ultimately we want to help you go through this process as gracefully as you possibly can. We want to help you go through it as aligned with your best self as you possibly can. And that takes a little bit more energy. It's not something that's automatic to us. When you look at things like the way the brain is structured, those little responses that come out of instinct and stuff, those are survival responses. They don't require a lot of thought. We call it animal brain. You just respond, you just react. And so what we are really focusing on as a divorce coach is trying to work with you in a way that helps you tap into your higher self. Not saying that you'll always be there, because none of us is perfect, and not even me. I have a coach and a therapist myself that I talk to, because so none of us is perfect. But there is so much which you really don't want to do is look back even on that process and have too many like, wow, why did I do that?
oh,
Yeah, right. Why was
yeah.
I hanging on to this? I really, why did I spend so much money with this attorney hanging on to this house, and I got this house and now it's too big for me because the kids are gone. The kids leaving, and now I got this 6-7 bedroom house with 5 bathrooms and it's just me and the puppy. Did I really need the house?
Did you really need the house? So we have another question, and I think this is really this is some powerful stuff, because it can help you whether you're getting a divorce or if you're still married. Some of these things, so that you don't fall into the divorce category.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
So
yes.
we have another question from our good friend Yolanda. And how do you advise women in the over 40 that are over 40 or have been in a long marriage prepare for divorce, but are not know how to move? Oh, but they're bitter and they don't know how to move forward. They're angry, and maybe they take it out on their friends or family. So how do you advise those type of women? Because I do see that a lot. I have friends that are divorced, and there's all kinds of experiences that the friends and the family go through as well. So how do you advise those women?
Well, one of the things I will say, I'm going to say, let me start off with this because I do have a blog that I'll be putting out soon about, how to be a friend to somebody that's going through a divorce. And one of the things I will tell you, we look at something called a vibrational frequency scale. And when you look at the vibrational frequency, because we all vibrate at different energies and frequencies, but some of the higher level frequencies are the love and, the joy and the peace and the contentment and all that. But some of the lower level frequencies are anger, sadness, fear, those kind of things. And so one of the things that often gets mistaken for anger is sadness. When people are sad and when people are afraid, those energies vibrate they're at the same lower level as somebody that's angry. And so a lot of times when we think that people are angry, they're sad, they're scared, they're hurt. And
That's
so
powerful.
Yes,
That's
but a lot, it makes a mistake all, it's all the time. It's the same thing with the angry Black woman. It's like, now a lot of times we're not angry, we're tired, we're frustrated, we're scared, we are confused. We are, it's anger is the last thing, but it's often the first thing that comes to people's mind. And so again, one of the things that we do is, or at least I do with my clients, is, let's talk about this. Let's talk about, and we have all kinds of different exercises and tools that we can use with a client to kind of really get them to think about, what's at the heart of why you're having those feelings. What's really going on here? Are you afraid of something? Because it's always something else a lot of times it's always something else that's behind what's going on. And sometimes people haven't dealt with it because in our society, we're so used to giving superficial answers, just a quick answer to something. And so when you're working with a divorce coach, that's not going to fly. We're going to really kind of try to help you tap into your emotions and your feelings. And we're going to do that by asking questions and giving homework assignments and, working with assessments and asking you to do a lot of different things that really help you tap into your soul.
wow. And so that's why if you're watching today or you're listening, that's why you need a divorce coach if you're going through a situation, because again, you might not want to talk to your friends. You might not want to talk to your family. They may not even be telling you the right things. So you want to talk to an expert like Jolisa, because the experts will help you through the situation. So I see another friend that I want to introduce you to, and I'm going to add her to the stream because you are hopefully going to go on her show next because she's so awesome and fabulous. So let's welcome Dr. Sandy Williams. Dr. Sandy, are you with us?
Oh, my. Yes, I am. Hold on, let me take
Hi,
my...
Dr.
Hi, let me take my video off. I'm glad I wrap my hair and be prepared for this. Hold on now. Let's see. Yeah,
so beautiful. Yes. Hi. Look at
meet Jolisa Webb, who is, I feel like she's a boss babe. So please tell Jolisa all real quickly about your organization and how I believe she should be one of your next guests.
Oh, no doubt about it. I've been listening. She's a boss. Boss means bringing spectacular superpower, right? And she certainly has superpowers. So I was taking copious notes, and while I was...
Okay, doctor, you froze up a little bit on us.
Let's
okay.
See. Am I good?
Okay. You're good now.
Yes. So I'm just really excited to be here. Like I took notes, and I certainly have her information. And I'm going to have the PR firm reach out to her because this information was super boss. It really, really, really good information that, women need to hear this. So thank you for inviting me, my impromptu jump in on your conversation. I was trying to stay in the background, so I had my video off and my mute, but Boss Sherry, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Boss Dr. Sandy Williams.
I'm looking forward to being on your show too, and looking forward to finding more about your organization too.
Yes.
And the work that you do. Yes.
Great.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Sandy. These are the boss women that I'm involved with, and you and I are connected by the hip right now. So we're gonna just have a whole boss party. How about that?
I love that. And we have Boss St. Lucia coming up next year, so we don't know what's going to happen with that, right?
Well, we can have Boss St. Lucia and invite our other boss women like the Liz Russells and the Yolanda Taylors and the Tracy Thompsons. So it's so many boss babes out here, boss women out here. So thank you for joining us, and
it's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
All right. So Jolisa, we still have 15, 20 minutes here.
But let me talk to you. Let me mention something just because you of your we do have other, this WomanUp initiative is all about other women, in business. And one of the things that divorce coaches do are we work with referral partners. And when, because a lot of times when, especially when somebody's going through the process, sometimes they're so overwhelmed, they want recommendations about a lawyer they can work with, or a real estate agent they can work with, because they're having to move the house, having to move, or a therapist, or an image consultant, or a financial planner, because they don't know anything about the budget. And so it's always nice to be part of an organization like this, where you can that gives you the ability to recommend your clients to somebody that you trust, because I'm certainly not going to refer my client to somebody that I haven't vetted, that I don't think has the same values that I have, because that is such a traumatic time in a person's life. I read something not too long ago, and if you think about it, it makes sense. Divorce is like a death, and the only thing that's different in a lot of ways is that person is still alive, and you still have to, you have to communicate and engage with them. But at the same time, it really is like a death. You feel like you lost somebody, you lost something, you lost a whole way of being, and it can be really traumatic, and so I want to be able to, it's nice to be part of an organization like this, where, if the client is asking me something that is beyond my capability or my expertise, i.e., I am not a therapist, I am not a mentor, I can do mentoring, but that's not what coaching is. I'm not a counselor, that's not the role of me as a coach, that I can reach out and refer them to somebody that is.
I agree. And so if you're watching today, if you're not a part of the Woman Up Initiative's business and community networking group, join us, and you could be featured as well, because we support each other, we lift each other up. I live by these words, and these ladies know these things. And so if you join our organization, it's only $99 for the entire year. You get to promote your business, we get to feature you, you get to network within the network with other women, and really pull out those resources that you really need. So that is why Jolisa is here, because there is no other way. She had to be a part of this, because we have quality in this organization. And I want our listeners and viewers to know that if you join our organization, we're going to have the resources that you need to help you get through all the things that you need to get through. And especially during this time with COVID, you can join all types of groups and organizations, but I'm only telling you this, it's only $99 for the year. We're not going to charge you anything else, unless we're going to have some special events or other things, but we really just want to help you. So I am so happy that Jolisa is with us, and we are going to take some more questions. Let's see what else is in the chat. One question is, friends need advice on how to support our loved ones. So what advice do you give to the friends? Do we get a checklist too? Because I could have used the checklist for people that I know, and say the right things, because if you say the wrong thing, that can trigger something else, and they can think that you're totally against them or whatever. And you don't want to be in that position. So what can we do what advice can you give to the friends and family members to support the loved ones?
I think well, one of the advice I would give them is to say, hey, have you thought about a divorce coach? Because let me point you to one. And seriously, I say that tongue in cheek, but I had to do it with a loved one not too long ago myself, and I couldn't even refer them to me because we were too close. But I did refer them to another divorce coach to consider some things. The one thing I would say to friends is listen more than you talk, and ask questions, because sometimes people just need to get something out. They just want to get it out. They don't really need you to do anything. And a lot of times you really, there's only a limited amount of things that you really can do, that that are kind of non-biased, because whether we like it or not, whether we want to own it, when we're dealing with a loved one or somebody that we care about and they're hurt, it can be hard to be neutral. A lot of people cannot do that very well. And so you have to have the self-awareness to know that what I say may be biased a little bit. And is that really in that person's best interest, or is this something that's in my best interest, or is this the way I would do it? And am I telling you that? So you really want to listen a little bit more and then ask questions. How can I help you here? What do you need from me? And I just find that, giving less advice and, really trying to because sometimes people just really don't know what they need, and if you start giving advice, it can make things a lot worse. So try to point them in the direction of a divorce coach, because the other thing that happens with friends and family sometimes too is there will come a point where they will get tired. They will get tired of hearing the story. They will get, and when people get tired of hearing something, there's no telling what may come out of their mouth unfiltered. So you want to talk to a professional who that's what we're here for. We're here to listen. We're here to ask questions. We're here to give you not give you so much we're here to be a neutral. We don't give advice, but we are here to be a neutral and help you really come up with your own solutions that are best for you. But you did ask me something earlier at the conversation at the start of this, and I wanted to make sure I was conscious of the question that you asked, and it was about fashion and divorce. You asked me about that because that is something that we do talk about, or at least I talk about as a divorce coach. And my motto is, you don't have to look like what you're going through, girlfriend. Pick your chin up, beautiful is what I say. You are a goddess, and you don't have to look like what you're going through. And a lot of times, this will be a great opportunity for you to think about working with an image consultant like Yolanda Taylor, because things that you have to think about. I know the clothes that you wore when you were married may not serve you in this new life, and you want to think about, who am I now? Who do I want to be now? Divorce is an opportunity to reinvent yourself. And so if you need to do that closet inventory, most of us can't do a closet inventory without some help, because we're going to hold on to some stuff for sentimental reasons that, that really isn't serving us well, really doesn't represent who we want to be now, the direction that we're going in. And so you call in an image consultant like Yolanda and say, hey, can you help me figure this out? How does this align? Because when I get ready to go out with my girls, how do I want to look? Or if I get ready to go out on that date, what do I need to wear? How do I want to show up on that date? I don't want to look like the soccer mom, but that's all I got in here. So what do I do next? And you also want to think about your foundation, your underwear, because when you're married, we all can get very comfortable with our underwear. When we get married, we can all get comfortable with our nightgown and our do-rag and, all of that stuff. And so you really want to take, and this goes for men and women, how are you showing up in the underwear department, in the lingerie department, honey? One of the ways to help you feel better real good is a lot of times when you look good on the outside, it translates. And so you want to think about, how you're showing up. So at a time of transition, you really can't afford to not pay a little bit of extra attention to, the way you're showing up, the way you're dressing, doing an inventory to get rid of clothes that are no longer serving you well and that are more aligned with the direction that you want to go in and who you want to be, and having some nice, sexy lingerie on under your clothes. You're walking around during the coronavirus with your nice little lounge wear on that you can walk in the house and have on your flurry slippers, or you can put on some pumps and just go to the grocery store. That gives you energy. It gives you power, when you step outside, and it can be a game changer when you're going through this process.
Wow. And that is so important, because even if you're married, I have to realize that, hey, I got to show up, correct. I can't always come to bed with my little scarf on or whatever. I got to keep it sexy, because if you're not looking at me, then what are you looking at? So, that goes for anyone, whether you're married or not. You have to still show up presentable, because let's talk about that self-care. It's about how you want to show up, how you want to feel, and what you want to look like. Look at yourself in the mirror, and if you say, wow, my hair is all over the place, do something about it. Especially during these COVID times, we can, do little and improve ourselves. You don't even have to do a full-blown anything. You can just do a little bit and show up correctly. So I really appreciate that information because it's really important. And then the next question we had is complimenting a woman or a man. What is appropriate if you're just trying to, throw a compliment out there or just get a conversation started and not be overbearing? What's appropriate, Jolisa? Because you're the expert. What is appropriate?
I find less is best, and I also, but I also think if you'd be surprised at how quickly you can run something through your head before you get it out of your mouth, and so think about speaking from the heart. Keep it short, keep it sweet, compliment their something that they're wearing, but sometimes it's not what you say, it's the way you say it too. So you have to think about, if I say, hey, baby, you look good. That's different than, oh, you look very nice today, or that's a beautiful color on you. Speak on the color of it, as opposed to, oh, that fits you like a glove, something like that. That comes across a different way. But you say, oh, that's a nice jacket you have on. Just keep it short. Don't get into describing too much about how it fits on them or whatever. Or just say, hey, you're looking very handsome today, or you look very beautiful today, and keep it generic. Don't get into a whole bunch of specifics. And I find that less is best. And yeah.
Okay, that's important because sometimes we do too much, and men do too much, women do too much, and then you want to know why that person didn't circle back to you is because of the delivery, and so that is so important. So let's talk a little bit about accepting your body, and this is for men and women as well. Accepting where you are in this process, because like you said, when you're going back out there and you're going to be dating, maybe you're dating online. So accepting your body and showing up online or showing up in person. What do you tell your clients to do, or how do you help them accept what you have and not be envious of someone else and what they have?
Yeah, I think a lot of the exercises that we do overall, as we're helping people connect with their authentic truth, kind of feed into that self-acceptance of their body and how they look and things like that. And as much as I talk about fashion, I also try to do a lot of work with that helps my clients focus on the inside, because a lot of times I feel like what people what really is coming through on a person is what's on the inside. When that person looks like they just got that certain je ne sais quoi, or they have this radiance, this glow, I think a lot of that comes from the inside. And when you feel good on the inside, then you a lot of times it does translate to how you look on the outside. But we want to accept ourselves where we are. We want to ask questions about, well, what are you unhappy about, and why are you feeling that way? Well, we don't ask a lot of why questions, because why can cause defensiveness, but we do ask a lot of what and how questions, and what's important to you about that, and how would you like to appear, and really get into the heart of why a person is having feeling a certain way about their body, and helping them to understand that, well, the important thing for you right now is to embrace yourself where you are. And then if there's something that you want to do differently, let's figure out a strategy for how we're going to get there. How are you going to get there? What is it going to take? That how will you know what success looks like? And again, what about that is important to you? What's really driving that? Because again, sometimes people will think they want certain things, and once you start to really ask them questions that move beyond the superficial, it'll be about something totally different. I promise you.
Well, we have one more question, and that one's for Tracy. How long does divorce coaching work, time sessions, and are you on a call? And approximately how long would someone utilize a coach?
Well, it depends. I have sessions. I normally I offer a free complimentary 30-minute session that's called a discovery session, just to find out where you are. Are you thinking about a divorce and you need to help with that? Are you in the process and just feeling a little bit overwhelmed? Are you having trouble moving on? And then there are three different types of packages where I can work with someone anywhere from 1 month, 3 months to 6 months. It just depends on it's really about what the person needs and what they want and what they feel comfortable with. And most of the sessions last about an hour per session, a few times a month, depending on which package they get. And in between those sessions, a lot of times there may be homework assignments. We talk about actionable steps that they're going to take between the time that we're meeting and the next time we meet with each other. And we talk about how they're going to hold themselves accountable for that and what success looks like. Because in addition to divorce coaching, I'm midway through getting my health and wellness, my master's in health and wellness coaching. And the reason I wanted to do that is because a lot of times when people are going through a divorce, it really has implications on their health and their wellness. And so I wanted to kind of supplement a lot of what I know as a divorce coach, because if you're stressed, stress can lead to other problems.
Well, I really appreciate that. So we are coming to the close of our interview with the most fabulous woman that I know, Jolisa Webb, fashion icon, model, and divorce coach. So if you are in need of a divorce coach, you want to look us up, you want to follow her website, and you want to get yourself a divorce coach. And also, you might want to join our organization. You want to join the Woman Up Initiatives Business and Community Networking Group, because we have so many amazing women in this organization that can help you. So, Jolisa, thank you so much for joining us today. And I got a wealth of information, and I am going to point the folks in your direction. So thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. And now, if I can see two ladies back in real quick, there's Tracy. Oh, I don't know where Yolanda went, but thank you, Tracy, for joining us. Thank you, Yolanda, for joining us. Thank you, Dr. Sandy, for joining us. We really appreciate all of you. And we will see you next time on Woman Up Initiatives Business and Community Networking Show.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye.